in the middle of a winter's day. Feel a little bit cloudy and gray. There's a riddle standing in the way. Na, na, na. How a man can have so many things underneath the Christmas tree and still not have what he needs. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. My hour of darkness, find me, find me. Look up to the sky, find me, find me. Find me the brightest star, find me, find me. I wish for you and I. Watch over the seeds you sow. If you want to see the children grow, you gotta give them love and let them go. Na, na, na. Remember what the cricket said. Everything your heart desires will come to you in its own time. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. My hour of darkness, find me, find me. Well, look up to the sky. Well, find me, find me. Find me the brightest star. Find me. I wish for you and I wish I may, I wish I might. 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 So don't forget to bow your head and imagine more than what you see. After all, life is but a dream. I wish I may, I wish I might. 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 Row, row, row your boat down the stream. I know, I know, I know, I know, life is but a dream. Wish I may, I wish I may, I wish I might. Hey, everybody. There's a little song of hope for you. Someday, somehow, things are gonna work out. Though it seems to look bad right now, love, peace, and empathy unites us all. Someday, somehow, someday, look up, I just keep standing strong. Please have faith. Don't you know everything you doubt, one day it's gonna work out. Someday, somehow, you've got to let it in. Someday, somehow, we'll be standing on top of the hill. Maybe what had us down and out, we'll be standing on top of the hill, looking down on this time. Someday, somehow, you've got to let it in. You've got to let it in. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling through to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Let it go, let it go. And this is what I've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide, as I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. I let the Spirit run my life. I am free, free, free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. I let the Spirit run my life. I am free, I'm free as I'm free. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. I'm only here for God.
Oh, God is in this place. This holy presence is wrapping us tenderly with love and wisdom, nurturing, healing, blessing, guiding us all. For as we come together as one beloved community, those here present and those with us online, we are one beloved community. And so we give thanks that there is no spot where God is not, and that God is everywhere present, and we are its beloved manifestation. And so as we come here together, it is with our hearts open and our minds clear and our souls just grateful to be sharing this love with one another. Something wonderful is emerging, has already begun, and continues without our doing anything but being willing to let God show up so masterfully, so beautifully, doing the work that we are required and requested to do, which is simply to let love win everywhere, at all times, starting here and continuing. Thank you, beloved presence, for our ability to remember who we are. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for letting us remind each other. And so we accept with great gratitude this divine truth and release our word to God's perfect law. And I invite you to join me in saying, and so it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. What a beautiful day, what beautiful people, what fabulous music. You know, that first song that Ray did, it's like, he's that shining star he was singing about. And we all are those shining stars. So thanks for being here to celebrate with me. Reverend Mike is not here today. He's catching up from the most amazing week we just had. We just got back from San Diego, where we were engulfed in love and joy and beauty with grandchildren from 4 months to 24 years. And every day was like a grandparently spa, a spa of love. And so we brought that back. I am still letting it be processed through me because it was one of the most magical experiences I think we have ever had. And I trust we brought some of that magic back here because you are magical and together we're amazing. So thank you for being with us. And if you're online, thank you for being here. And thank you, Payson, for just a wonderful job of making sure that this community, all the parts and pieces of it, come together with your expert work back there. Thank you. Well, what can I say except that I love you and I can hardly wait to continue to see what shows up today. You never know. You know, we ministers, we put our notes together. Mostly we do the deepest meditation we can to get connected and see what wants to happen here today. And then we find out. So sometimes it's much like the notes say, and sometimes it's a surprise. So we are, as you know, here to support and to love each other. And that's what we do. And we are here to learn together. We will be getting classes starting up before you know it, and this is our opportunity to deepen our understanding so that we're living our principle, so that whatever we are faced with during the day, during the week, or during the night, we come right back to the God, to the beloved that is always saying, whispering in our hearts, "Thou art my beloved one, in whom I am well pleased." And in remembering the authentic self and how beloved we are individually and as a community, all of those bumps in the night and the fears in the world and the concerns in our relationships and our health and all the other things that humans get to experience, they get transcended then. Because we remember the truth. That not only sets us free, but keeps us free. And we, of course, belong to a greater global community, and that's the Centers for Spiritual Living. If you're ever out of town, go find one. And everyone is quite unique in the way it presents itself, in the size, in the places they meet, and so forth. And yet we all share our basic teaching, delivered thankfully by Dr. Ernest Holmes, who brought together the great thinking of the world, the great theologians and the philosophers and the ancient wisdom in a very practical philosophy. And we're grateful, so grateful for that. And it's lovely to see the unique way that people present our truth. Well, you do this in your own world, in your own lives. You express your principle to your family and your friends and your loved ones and anyone who'll listen, at the right time in the right way, because we do not proselytize. We simply live our teaching, and people notice that, and they're made better by it, and they might get curious about what is it that keeps you peaceful and active in times that are somehow challenging. They'll feel it, they'll know it, you get to lift them. So we're all in this. We all have our own ministry to do, so to speak. And the best way to do that, I have found, is simply to live it. Just live it. And then call each other up if you need a reminder. That's a good thing to do. And so as part of this greater global community, we do have vision, we do have mission, and we have spiritual tools that we apply to personal and global challenges. And one of the things that we learned a long time ago, and thank God I was in the room in Whitefish, Montana, with 200 ministers when we're finding this statement. And all of a sudden, can you imagine 200 ministers in a room all talking? And then suddenly it got very quiet, and I don't remember whose it was. Out of someone's mouth came, and I'll ask you to say it with me now, awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And that can be done without a word. That can be done by walking down Harbor Drive in San Diego, if you are lucky enough to be there, and just seeing the surfers and the children and everybody else as the beloved, as this divine expression of God's life that everyone truly is. So that's what we believe in. That's what we know we have an opportunity to do. But how can I awaken anyone else to his or her or their spiritual magnificence if I'm not first aware of it? So let's continue deepening our awareness of how spiritually magnificent you are. And then we also have a mission here, and that is to co-create a world that works for everyone, a world that works for all. And that's a very important activity. And whether it's in small ways or in larger, more significant ways, and all of that is relative, we're making a difference by choosing, consciously choosing to create a world, co-create a world that everyone can dwell in with peace and love and compassion, understanding, joy, and prosperity. That's our mission. And if you choose to accept it, but don't burn the tape. Is Mission Impossible such a long time ago that we don't remember it? Okay. So now we have our own purpose statement that came right out of this group. And it goes like this: living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And now we're going to sing. No, we already sang. That's right. We do that one first. So now what happens is that I'm going to talk to the young adults. And man, was I playing with young adults. I'll have to tell you that Reverend Mike and I, and he says hello and sends you his love. And he'll be back Sunday. We got back yesterday. And every day from Tuesday through Friday, we were visiting different groups, dear friends, but mostly children and grandchildren. And we got to meet Reverend Mike's brand new baby boy, Killian, who's nearly 4 months old. And we got to see his big brother, Xander, who's now 3. And that was precious. And that evening then, we took to dinner his daughter Caitlin, her husband Alex, the 2 little boys who were perfect in this very nice restaurant. Were your children like that? They were wonderful. And we also took the children's paternal grandmother, whom we had not met. She was with us, as well as their maternal grandmother, who used to be married to Reverend Mike. We had this wonderful California coming together with the babies. Children bring people together. Listen, you guys, when you were children, I'm talking to our young adults and teens now, when you were children here in our Fun Day School, you were so loved by your teachers, by me, and Reverend Mike was one of your teachers, and you were loved by the whole congregation. It's like you had a lot of aunts, uncles, grandparents as well. That's what we love to do in a world that works for everyone, to be so nurturing and loving of the children that they grow up to realize how beautiful and wonderful they are. Okay, so when you guys were little, that's what you got. Well, that's what these are getting too. Then, the young adults we were hanging out with, I have known all of them since they were babies, just like I used to know you when you were babies. And love getting to know you now as teens, older teens. Wonderful. So we're with them. And do you know what they love to do? Maybe you do too when you're with your grandparents or people who've known you a long time. They love it when I tell them stories about what I remember about them when they were little. For instance, David, who was firstborn in this little family, David was 3 years old when his triplet brothers and sister were born. They were in San Diego. I was in San Francisco area. As soon as I found it, because I was there for David's birth, and as soon as I found out that they were being born, I flew down immediately and took care of David, the 3-year-old, for a while. You've had grandparents taking care of you at special times too, I know. And then the parents had bought big stuffed tigers, 3 of them, that were going to be gifts from David to the triplets. And they were in the NICU, of course. That's where the babies who were born a little early, and they have to be when they're triplets, have to get a little extra attention for a while. And so David and I walked in with these big tigers, and there were, and the kids loved it when I told them this. There were 3 little NICU beds, places, cribs. What do they call them? Anyway, they were sleeping. And so we came in, and I gave David each tiger, and he popped it into the crib. That was it. Popped it into the crib. Said, there you go. There you go. And so they went to the next one. There you go. Went to the next one. There you go. They looked at me and says, Nana, any more? It's so precious to have these long-time memories and so much fun to share them with your adult grandchildren who love it. Do you love it when someone who's known you since you were a baby tells you good stories, not about things that you didn't want to hear about, but the good ones? You see, when the idea of a baby comes to mind and that child comes into being, then certain things are intended and take place, and ultimately there's a great reward. A great reward as people, as these little people, like you used to be, become big human beings with ideas and a sense of humor and fun and willingness to play with the adults. That's one of the things I love about you guys. You're always willing to play with us. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and come on down here a little more often, okay? We like seeing you in person, and so that's it. Okay. Now I have the pleasure of introducing the president of our Board of Trustees to give the announcements, and that would be Payson Burt. He forgot his hat. Hi. You want to use this one?
No, that's okay. I got the camera all set up.
You need the exercise? Okay. I think he's feeling a little shy today, as if.
I had it all coordinated. And then it just fell apart.
That's okay. That's life.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'll just shuffle off the buffalo all over the place. All right, well, welcome. What a glorious couple of days we've had, hasn't it? It's so nice not to have to wear jackets and coats and mufflers and all that kind of stuff. We found ourselves at a beautiful garden center yesterday. Have you ever been to Rhodes up in on 202 near Montgomeryville? No, oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful garden center up there. And so it was so nice in a t-shirt and just wandering around, just wonderful. So in that thought, we have Nibbles and New Thought coming up April 7th at TJ's restaurant in Paoli from 6:30 to 8:15. We have another full moon ceremony this Friday, April 11th from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. at Diane Wilson's in Collegeville. We will offer a special Easter celebration on Sunday, April 20th at 1 o'clock p.m. You want to watch for classes beginning in early May. People streaming usually get to see the how you get to the things on our CSL website, but that's it over there if you want to see that. And register for all our events at www.cslphilly.org. There's one more. Become an important part of our Sundays. Come a bit early to assist Linda with setup or signs, materials, prayer chests, books, etc. Bring refreshments to share at fellowship time. Become a greeter, welcoming folks to our service. Remain after a little bit to help put things away, and speak with Edie about interest in teaching kids. So different ways as we're expanding here and we have our space and we're settling into our space, more and more opportunities emerge. And so step right on up. We'd love to have you. And that's it for today. So Dr. Maxine, you're live. So if you could do your shuffle off the buffalo while I get all set up, okay?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Thank you, Payson. That was fun. Okay.
Here I am, out in the open. Here I am, with nothing to hide. Here I go, but where am I going? Who am I? Who am I becoming? Oh my God, you know where to find me. Here I am, inside of my body, and I breathe love. Here I am, inside of this notion that you and I live in separation. But here we are, there's nothing missing. The sense of I is all disappearing. Oh my God, you know where to find me. Here I am, inside of my body. I breathe love.
Let's take in a deep, holy breath of spirit. And in the release of that breath, let's simply let go of anything that may have been of concern or confusion. For spirit is solid, real, infinite, eternal, and it is the very life of our lives. So as we continue to breathe and experience the divine circulation of life in, through, and as us, through our consciousness, our thoughts, our feelings, our bodies, allow ourselves to feel a renewal, a refreshment as this precious life flows through us, releasing whatever needs to be released and opening our hearts to a new awareness. Let's allow the breath now to become a bridge through which we travel into our hearts. And as we enter into the heart, simply say, here I am, here I am. Let me be illumined, nurtured, enlightened. Here I am, let me be guided. Let me understand. And feel the loving answers that come from the very heart of God, which dwells right within our own hearts. There is peace. There is plenty. There is compassion. There is wisdom. And as we stand in the midst of this loving stream of life, we are made new, willingly relinquishing that which no longer serves us, and opening our consciousness to new possibilities, whereas we are immersed in this loving stream of life, warm, nurturing, healing. There is nothing to do, nothing to do, just to be. Here, here I am. Use me for greater life, greater love, greater divine activity. How very sweet it is to simply invite this holy presence to use us, the instrument through which this divine life heals, blesses, renews, and makes new. All is well. All is well, truly. Truly all is well.
Here I am, just to be taken to the place of a deeper connection. Here we are, all for this moment, of losing time in a loving stillness. Oh my God, you know where to find me. Here I am, inside my body, and I breathe love. And I breathe love now. Here I am.
Thank you. Well, now I would like to invite our practitioner of the day to come up with Practitioner Corner. Cheryl Macklin.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you're joining us. It is spring, which is so incredibly awesome, but I'm sort of still in the St. Patrick's Day, John O'Donohue mood. So I thought I would share one of his blessings for the morning. It's from a book called Blessing the Space Between Us. I arise today in the name of silence, womb of the word, in the name of stillness, home of belonging, in the name of the solitude of the soul and the earth. I arise today, blessed by all things, wings of breath, delight of eyes, wonder of whisper, intimacy of touch, eternity of soul, urgency of thought, miracle of health, embrace of God. May I live this day compassionate of heart, clear in word, gracious in awareness, courageous in thought, generous in love. Imagine if we each started our day with John O'Donohue. Doesn't get better than that. Except there's Ernest Holmes, of course, when we're talking about prayer. And this is from page 178 in the Science of Mind textbook. We find that prayer is essential to happiness, for righteous prayer sets the law of the spirit of life in motion for our good. Prayer is essential to the conscious well-being of the soul. Prayer has stimulated countless millions to higher thoughts and better lives. Prayer is its own answer. Before our prayer is framed in words, the possibility of its answer already exists. Powerful, powerful words. So I will state this treatment in the first person and invite you to take it for yourselves. God is absolutely in this place. God is everywhere present. God is infinite intelligence and unconditional love. As God is everywhere present in all things, I know that God is right here and right now, with me, in me, through me, as me, in this perfect, sacred present moment, and every moment to follow. I am so grateful to know this. I am so grateful to greet and connect with the God in each and every person present, and each and every person listening or watching. I know that God is in the music, God is in the prayers, God is in the talk. God is in our sharing and caring. And I am so grateful to know this and to share this. With grateful acceptance, I release my word into the law, knowing that it is already a fact in the mind of God. With great gratitude, I let it be so, and so it is. And our affirmation: my spiritual discipline continues to bring me great success and ever-increasing delight. Thank you.
I wish you could see me now. I wish I could show you how I'm not who I was. I used to be mad at you, a little on the hurt side too. I'm not who I was. I found my way around to forgiving you some time ago, but I never got to tell you so. Found us in a photograph, saw me and I had to laugh. I'm not who I was. You were there, you were right above me. I wondered if you ever loved me, just for who I was. When the pain came back again, like a bitter friend, it was all that I could do to keep myself from blaming you. Reckon it's a funny thing, I found out I could sing. I'm not who I was. I write about love and such, maybe because I want it so much, as I'm not who I was. I was thinking maybe I should let you know that I am not the same, but I never did forget your name. Well, the thing I find most amazing is amazing grace, is the chance to give it out. Maybe that's what love is all about. I wish you could see me now. I wish I could show you how I'm not who I was.
I'm not who I was either, but I ain't what I'm gonna be yet. But I've always been who I've always been, just like each of you, right? It's our personalities that change. That was perfect for today's topic, which happens to be a perfect payoff. We've been working all month. This is the last Sunday of March. And we have been working diligently, haven't we, about turning our attention away from what might be upsetting or scary, maybe doing something about it when we're guided from within, but turning our attention away so that we are not reacting, but responding. As Ernest Holmes taught us, we wish to be for something and against nothing. And so we've been focusing, we've had the discipline, this divine discipline of delight, where we turn our attention away from what might be criticism, condemnation, etc. In fact, I was talking, this is Lent as well as Ramadan, just finished last night, and we've been turning our attention away from that which we don't want to entertain in our consciousness to that which we would love to have flourish in our lives. And I was talking to a Christian minister who said, Lent is, we were talking about what it is for us. And he said, it really is more about that. For me, he said, it is about refraining from criticism and condemnation, fasting from fear. That's what we've been doing. And now, after this all month long, we're getting the payoff. Because as we have done this deep work, as we have dived into truth in the face of any kind of error, our consciousness has gotten buoyed up, more peaceful, feeling more power, and no hopelessness for anything that we might have been experiencing that about. So we're getting the payoff, and that's a wonderful thing. Fasting from fear, fasting from criticism, fasting from negativity, retraining our thoughts, harnessing our emotions. That's the easy part, right? No? Well, now we're reaping the rewards. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind text says, only when we put our very best into our spiritual work will it satisfy us. And now we are reaping the rewards of this good spiritual work. And we're delighting in a more peaceful consciousness, I trust. Not done? Are you not done? Neither am I. Didn't I tell you? It's a lifetime project. But every time we set our intention to keep our vision clear and true and beautiful, we make progress and we do not go back. So we're making incremental steps, pivots, if you will, toward the divine idea. And when we were coming back from the airport yesterday, the Uber driver, I could see he was Muslim from what he had, and he had the word, I had to ask him what it was because I don't read Arabic, and it was a beautiful, beautiful blue and gold, lovely decoration with this word there, and he said it meant Allah, which is God, which is the divine being, whatever you choose to call it. And I said, this is the last day of your Ramadan. Have you had a blessed Ramadan? And he said, yes. Well, one of the pillars of Islam is to be kind to people and to help your neighbor. We got home. This lovely man did a beautiful job driving us home. There are 16 steps up to our front door. And he insisted on carrying all of our bags up the stairs to the front door. We've never had have you ever had an Uber driver do that? It's like he's living his truth. And that's what you and I get to do, is to live our truth and to reap these rich rewards from our dedicated practices. And we continue to get perfect payoffs, one after another. Now, Mila, I am so glad that you're here. I'm not going to give you the whole teen spiel again, okay? I'll spare you that. But I do want to mention, and to all of us, in fact, that we must have dedicated practices in whatever we're setting our minds and our hands and our hearts to do, right? And so that's whether you are learning a sport, playing it well, whether you're learning a musical instrument, playing it magnificently, and you can spend a lifetime perfecting your skill, but it takes dedicated practice in order to get those rich rewards. My eldest grandchild, we're talking about children and grandchildren today, it seems. She's 35, and I married her and her dear husband over 3 years ago in Boca Raton. She's always been a fitness girl, and she works out all the time, and she's so fit. And she decided she wanted to start running. So she began running a mile a day. She kept increasing that. And she sent a video Sunday of yet another race that she won. She did a 5K, and here she is, ponytail flipping, running to the finish line and getting there and breaking through. And we heard the announcer say, and the winner is from South Florida, Stephanie. And it's because she's been dedicated in her training for that to happen. And I showed that video to one of my, Southern California grandchildren, the oldest one, David, the one who threw the tigers in the that one. And he had told us just the other night that he's going to start running, and Reverend Mike used to be a crazy leg runner, so he was giving him some ideas about start slow, take it easy, don't try and do 1 mile a day and then work it up. And then when I showed David this video of Stephanie, he was so inspired. Don't you see how we can inspire each other by our dedicated practices and showing people the results without a word? We don't proselytize. We don't say, look what I do because of my church. We simply live our teaching. And people are inspired by it, just as David was inspired by Stephanie. We also met with friends and other relatives, and one in her mid-70s who just began to learn to play the piano. And we were in her home. She bought herself this beautiful white piano, which just matches everything in the house. And I thought, how sweet, she's going to play a little of this. She showed me what she's working on after a short time of lessons. You've heard of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata? This is dedication. This is a practice. This is a passion to do something wonderful. And we're all created with a passion to do a lot of wonderful things. And it's a matter of listening to it and refraining from getting too involved in the noise of the world and everything else around us. We do our soul work. That's what it is. It's soul work. We do it in deep meditation and in spiritual discipline. That's a good word, Have you read Philippians 4:8 lately? Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Think on these things. Never mind, the squirrel cage. Anybody ever have any squirrel cage thinking where maybe some sort of negative slips in and it's over and over again and it's like, this conversation has got to stop. Think on these things. Think on eternal truths, not temporary facts. There's great satisfaction in developing this peace and a sense of plenty and a sense of internal power, not our ego power, but the power of God that dwells within us that says, let me use you. Ernest Holmes says there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. True enough, that's what we do. But there's also the same power in the universe that's greater than we are, and it can use us. Let us be those instruments, as Francis said. Let me be an instrument of your peace, of your power, of your goodness. We are those instruments. We can congratulate ourselves on our progress that we've made this month. We can congratulate ourselves on the progress we continue to make by maintaining this lovely spiritual discipline of thinking on these things. Let's continue the metanoia. In the Bible it also says, repent, all you sinners. Let me tell you what repent means. I think I have to some of you in the past. In Greek, metanoia is the word for repentance, and it simply means to turn the mind in another direction. So I say, repent, all ye winners. Turn your mind around. Keep your focus on what we desire, not what we don't want. Yes, even in an untenable personal or global situation, and in fact, especially then. So celebrating success, small, medium, large, it doesn't matter. Let's not judge the size of the success. Just accept it and give thanks for it and rejoice in it. But celebrating it helps to continue to establish a healthy consciousness. Do a little pat on your back sometimes and add a girl and add a boy. I refrained from negative thinking for an hour and a half. Add a girl. Okay? Let's give ourselves some acknowledgement for that. We reap sweet, ongoing rewards by opening our eyes and our hearts to the multitudinous blessings that are showered on us every day. Let's open our eyes and our awareness and give thanks for them. Gratitude itself is causative, The more thankful we are, the more we see that we truly appreciate, the more blessings are free to come into our lives. Somewhere along the line, you planted that intention. The wonderful song from Music. Okay, you know how it goes. Somewhere in my youth or childhood, I must have done something good. Somewhere in the past few months or years, I must have been focusing for a longer period of time on something good and refrained from giving my power away by negative thinking. You and I are always adding to or detracting from our healthy consciousness. We're at choice there. Let's remember that. It's much like making a deposit or a withdrawal from our bank account. We're adding to it or we're taking from it. Universal intelligence responds accordingly. We can count on that. Let's also realize how raising the individual consciousness through this good work positively affects the universal consciousness. We sometimes worry about the human race consciousness and how its negative thinking can get in. Well, rather than that, let's not have a fear about it. Let's realize that you and I can affirmatively, positively affect the human race consciousness by our continuing to invest and make deposits of goodness and thinking on these things that are holy. And when I say holy, I mean that word is the same, it's cognate with wholeness. The unimpeachable wholeness of the universe loves to express through us. Let's let it. Let's stop resisting. Let's stop criticizing and condemning and making excuses. We begin here with our own beloved center. We make a difference every time we gather, whether it's physical, whether it's online, or whether it's in our spiritual practices where we think about each other. That's when we're co-creating an oasis of peace. You like that? We are co-creating an oasis of peace, a welcoming center of compassion. We're going to have to drive them away with a stick when we get this work done. We're creating an oasis of peace, and we're not going to drive them away. There's always room for everyone. A welcoming center of compassion, a place to learn, to grow, to become more and more enlightened, to share our lives with each other, and to reveal the divinity within each other. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you. Will you say with me, I remain true to my best self. I invite divine guidance to show me the way. And I celebrate our spiritual progress. And so, my beloved ones, beginneth our lesson. Thank you. Thank you, loves. Oh, it's time for our offering. One of my favorite things to do, because I love the beautiful divine circulation that takes place when we give our gifts, whatever they may be. If we give in different ways, and of course, Payson and Monet are showing you other ways to do that, that's beautiful. We love and appreciate it. And if that's how you give, rather than the way I give, into this divine golden plate, just put your hand over the plate as it comes and bless it, and watch everything multiply. And so will you say with me our prosperity affirmation? I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is. Bless you.
I learned this song today, or this week, by Karen Drucker. It's called Thank You. Actually, I learned the wrong song. It's the wrong thank you. But it ended up being the right thank you because it really is a beautiful song. I want to do the whole thing. And this is a little surprise. I want to send this out to Reverend Maxine and to Reverend Mike.
Aw.
I sent it out to myself, and then I sent it out to you, too. So we're all included on this.
Aw, thank you.
For all the ways you touched my life, I honor you today. You are an angel in disguise, and so I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, I thank you. Thank you, I thank you. Thank you, thank you. Every day you give your heart, and everyone can see it. Loving grace is who you are, and I can feel it. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for each day, and every day. Each moment is a blessing, and so the prayer I say, thank you, thank you. Thank you, I want to thank you. Thank you, oh thank you. I just want to thank you. For my life, thank you. For my friends, thank you. For my health, thank you. For my work, thank you. For each breath, for the love and the grace, for everything. So I say thank you, thank you. Thank you, I want to thank you. Just to thank you.
And we bless these gifts, knowing they were given from the heart of love, that they grow and prosper, each of us, our beloved community, and all who give. And their receiving is multiplied, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here today. You make my day. And now we're going to have our practitioners come up to the front, and we're going to have a few words. I want you to know that these people are always willing and ready and able to help you stay clear in your consciousness. If something arises that you need a little support, any one of these plus the other three, right? And so thank you. And if you wish to put a request in the prayer chest, you can do that, and the whole God Squad will support you through it. And if you want to have a 3-minute miracle, grab one of them today, gently, please. I mean, they're strong, but still, gently. And they'll find a little corner. There's so many little rooms we can go to, and you tell them what you would like help with in 25 words or less, and they will instantly give you a very short and powerful treatment. They're here for a reason. You know what the reason is? For you. Okay. So we're going to finish up our song here that we've had for the whole month, now that we know it well. But let's know as we go forward, it is with the grace of God that every step we take moves in the direction of that which is true and that which is beautiful and that which is of good report. And we rejoice and give thanks to the divine presence, and we give thanks to our own choices that we are making a difference in our own lives and in the greater world itself. And so it is. So it is. Ready, let's come over here so people can see the words.
I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to praise you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to love you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. Raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil.